Good evening. It's Saturday, the 20th of December. You're tuned in to our 6 p.m. newscast coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. It's very good to have you with us. I'm Mark Broome. Our top story this evening. President Park Geun-hye has been invited to Russia for the 70th anniversary of its victory over Germany in World War II. A source told Yonhap News Agency that the government will check the president's schedule for next year, but it hasn't been decided yet if she will attend the ceremony or not. Moscow also sent North Korean leader Kim Jong-un an invitation. Russia commemorates the Victory Day on May 9th every year to mark its victory in 1945 over Nazi Germany. Moscow has sent invitations to dozens of world leaders, including Kim Jong-un, who hasn't, in fact, left the country since he took office in 2011. At the 60th Victory Day celebration in 2005, then South Korean President Roh Moo-hyun attended the ceremony along with more than 50 world leaders, including George W. Bush and Hu Jintao. The FBI has formally blamed North Korea for the recent cyber attack on Sony Pictures. President Obama says the US will respond to the attack and added the studio had made a mistake by shelving a movie that depicts the fictional assassination of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Hwang Sang-hee reports.
The FBI says North Korea is directly responsible for the recent cyber attack on Sony Pictures, which had forced the movie maker to cancel the release of the movie The Interview. In a statement Friday, the Bureau said it had enough information to conclude the North Korean government was responsible. Its conclusion is based on similarities between past cyber attacks by North Korea and a technical analysis of the data deletion malware that revealed links to other malware previously developed by the North. The FBI called it an unacceptable act of state-sponsored intimidation, to which President Barack Obama vowed a proportional response.
We cannot have a society in which some dictator someplace can start imposing censorship here in the United States.
In a year-end press conference, President Obama said Sony Pictures made a mistake in shelving The Interview, a comedy film about an assassination plot on North Korean leader Kim Jong-un that was set to hit cinema screens on Christmas Day. Following threats of additional attacks, major movie theater chains backed out from showing the film, prompting Sony to cancel its release. Sony CEO Michael Linton told CNN's Fareed Zakaria GPS that his studio was still looking for alternative ways to show the movie, but it had not found one willing distributor.
There has not been one major VOD, video on demand distributor, one major e-commerce site that has stepped forward and said they are willing to distribute this movie for us.
The FBI statement marks the first time Washington has directly accused another country of a cyber attack of this scale, raising the possibility of a fresh confrontation between the two longtime foes. Hwang Sang-hee, Arirang News.
And staying with that story, in South Korea has slammed North Korea's hacking of Sony Pictures, calling it a crime that has inflicted significant harm on a US business and the public. In a statement released on Saturday, Seoul's foreign ministry said North Korea's actions had caused serious damage to cybersecurity. It said it's paying close attention to the similarities between the hacking of Sony Pictures and the cyber attack on South Korean financial institutions in March last year. The statement said the South Korean government will continue to work with the United States by sharing information related to the cyber attacks and bolstering countermeasures against similar threats. President Park Geun-hye has welcomed the Constitutional Court's decision Friday to disband a minor left-wing political party, calling it a historic decision. Presidential Press Secretary Yoon Do-hyun told reporters Saturday that President Park said the court's ruling strongly protects liberal democracy in the country. The Unified Progressive Party, accused of pro-North Korean activities, was ordered to be disbanded on Friday. The court said that the party's principles violated the basic democratic order of South Korea. It marks the first ruling of its kind since the Constitutional Court was established in 1988. US President Barack Obama has ordered a trade ban with Crimea in a bid to show Washington will not accept Russia's occupation of the Ukrainian region. The executive order imposes a ban on export of goods, technology and services to Crimea. There will also be new sanctions on certain Russian and Ukrainian individuals and companies. Meanwhile, European Union sanctions imposing tougher restrictions on European investment into Crimea and targeting Russian oil and gas exploration also came into effect on Saturday. Standard & Poor's has slashed Ukraine's credit rating, saying a default may be inevitable since financial support from the IMF has been slow and the country's foreign currency reserves are being eaten away. The credit rating agency cut the country's long-term sovereign credit rating from CCC to CCC-, the lowest possible score before failure to pay. S&P says a default could become inevitable in the next few months if circumstances do not change. The IMF estimates that Ukraine will need an additional $15 billion after the IMF's $27 billion package. Kiev, thus far, has only received $4.6 billion so far. Ukraine's foreign reserves dropped below $10 billion last month. Now, the mother of most of the 8 children found dead in a mass stabbing in Australia's northern city of Cairns has been arrested on suspicion of murder. Queensland police say the 37-year-old woman, who was hospitalised on Friday with stab wounds, was lucid and awake and talking to officers. An officer said the woman was the mother of 7 of the 8 children, aged 18 months to 15 years. The 8th child was her niece. In a statement, Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott said it was an unspeakable crime. The deaths come a matter of days after a siege of a cafe in Sydney, which ended with the gunman and 2 hostages dead. Now, the best and brightest science minds in the country came together recently for a battle that pitted the products of their creative ideas against one another, from a 3D printer to a folding drone. Son Jung-in has this report.
Printers are far from a novelty anymore, but this group of science enthusiasts added a new feature, a paintbrush in place of the printhead. After analyzing a picture, the brush dips its head into the right color and starts to draw the same sketch.
This was originally developed as a 3D printer, but later we incorporated the watercolor painting technology.
Another team used an innovative idea to create a transformer drone. Just by pressing a button, the drone folds in half, giving it increased mobility on land. Along the same lines is this smart drone that can recognize the voice of its operator. Science aficionados from all walks of life came together for the Science Makers Battle Korea competition in the city of Daejeon. Participants were asked to develop their own creations in one of 5 areas, such as games, the Internet of Things, or drones. The top prize went to a team for its idea recorder, which manages and saves users' thoughts in a mobile application.
It's hard at first, but once you get the hang of it, you can create anything you want.
A total of 300 teams nationwide participated in the competition, which was held for the first time in Korea. Son Jung-in, Arirang News.
Some really interesting ideas there. Now, Korea is one of the few countries in the world that offers universal health insurance to its people, and it took just 12 years to provide it. Now, it is sharing its expertise with African countries that are in urgent need of a better healthcare system. Kim Jong-un has more.
This Ethiopian farmer has been suffering from diabetes for 6 years. He spent over $50 a month in visits to the doctor and buying medicine, equivalent to nearly half of his income.
I couldn't send my child to school, or else I couldn't get insulin injections.
But now he is one of the lucky few to get free medical treatment, as his town was included in a medical insurance pilot project that was recently implemented. Still, there is a lot to be done since the beneficiaries account for only 7% of Ethiopia's entire population. The nation's average life expectancy stands at just 59 years, with a mortality rate for children under the age of 5 at 9%. The Ethiopian government, seeking to change the healthcare sector, chose Korea as its role model.
You cover the whole population under insurance, social security, and the other thing is you achieved that within only 12 years. This is exceptional for Korea, because I know Germany took 130 years to reach.
Experts say the move is beneficial for both Korea and Ethiopia. Korea can upgrade the global status of its medical system while educating and training medical teams in Africa.
Korean health officials and technicians are sharing their knowledge with local medical teams. We believe that will affect their medical policy system in the long run without the need to invest much money.
Moreover, the move is expected to lead the adoption of a Korean computing and hospital construction system and medical devices, bringing along economic benefits in the near future. Kim Jong-hye, Arirang News.
Now, before we go, leaving you with a brief look at the weather here in Korea. It's going to be yet another bitterly cold night across the country, with the overnight low plunging to minus 11 degrees Celsius here in Seoul. Sunday is going to be a crisp and clear day across most of the nation, but temperatures will only top out at minus 3 degrees in the Korean capital. Now, for our viewers overseas, let's take a look at the weather conditions in your part of the world. Well, that's all we have for now. Do enjoy the rest of your Saturday, wherever you are watching us, and do stay tuned to Arirang TV. We'll be back again with our next newscast at 10 p.m. Korea time. Until then, goodbye.